Okay, only next to the last paragraph, page 840. This chosed is explained to his son. He's speaking about those special people, the level of clarity they have, the tranquility they have, how they're accepted by others. Their people seek out their counsel because they have no conflicts, these people. Because in terms of the way they've weaned themselves from the material, and they concluded, he says, therefore, they see the falseness that exists and the evil that exists within existence. And they can't be fooled or misled. They are God's chosen ones. Haborim. Uskulas HaChasidim. They are pure, and they are, he says, they are the elite of the devout. Skulas HaChasidim. Bale haros v'hapchuchos. Men of clear vision. Hapchuchos. Ones who see with clarity. Hamisholos hayakoros. He says, their noble aspirations. Hayagios haritzuyos. Pleasing endeavors. Okay, I would have explained that Yigios a little differently. Yigir means their initiatives are pleasing. Their initiatives. Endeavor is what? Is initiative? Yeah. Okay. Sometimes the endeavor is actually the objective is the endeavor. Right? Ishru Elokim v'ushru. They strive towards Hashem v'ushru, and they're fortunate. Sochru imo v'ervichu. They engage with him and they succeed. Beru matzbuna v'nivroru. They purify their innards and they become refined. Zikul libos nivchoru. They purify their hearts and they become chosen. Hitztairu hayiro baderach harov nitzolu. Hitztaidu hayiro baderach harov nitzolu. It says they arm themselves with reverence. The derech hara, on the dangerous road, and are saved. What does he speak? What's the dangerous road? Life. Life is a minefield. But because they've armed themselves with reverence, regardless of how dangerous it is, this is Ragli Chasidim Yishmael. Hashem watches over his Chasidim. They merit special siyata d'shmaya. You know, the Chovot Chaim always speaks continuously. Sometimes thinks certain things to be impossible to achieve. Especially where we're at, we're so far from our destination where we have. He says it was quotes the Gemara in Shabbos. Habolet tar Messiah so that if a person is sincere and he wants to purify himself, will merit divine assistance. Hashem will help you. You can't do it yourself. And if you understand you can't do it and you're sincere, you want to achieve and to arrive and succeed in spiritual endeavors, spiritual objectives, he will assist you. If they arm themselves with reverence. Reverence means this is Shvis Hashem Negdi Tomid, you know? You have no idea how long it takes to get to the destination. Does anybody know? Vrochu Markvos Hamasim Vigiu. He says, riding chariots of good deeds. Vigiu, and they reached their destination. It's interesting, the concept. They ride the chariot of good deeds, and they arrive. What does that mean? And they reach their destination. The concept of mitzvah is mitzvah. Do we know how many horizons are before us? We have no idea. Do we know our capacity? You have no idea. It's only once you take the path and you begin and you engage, one mitzvah brings you to another mitzvah. So they've ridden the chariot of good deeds, and they arrived. Meaning, they addressed the potential. Nobody knows what their potential is. Does anybody have an idea what their potential is? You don't. But if you follow the prescription of Hashem, what you're supposed to do, and so these people, they walked the walk as they were supposed to walk the walk. Pogu b'simcha masmedes v'soson l'ishtaneh. They meet with joy, continuous joy, v'soson l'ishtaneh. And their soson's another level, he says, unfailing elation. Lo yishtaneh, unfailing. Okay? Also means it's another expression of continue. Nimlutu mimamer hacheshbon ubotchu be'ayusurim. Nim mimamer hacheshbon. They pass the test of reckoning and are safe from suffering. No. Because there is no basis to do a reckoning, because they're pure. Therefore, they're safe from suffering. It could be Olam Hazeh, even though there's nobody perfect. But who's perfect, right? I mean, relative to what, even though the Gemara says in Chulin, we had a Gemara in Chulin. The Gemara says that Reb Chia, before Reb Chia came to Eretz Yisrael with his children, there were earthquakes, was a common thing. There were destructive winds, like tornadoes. And when people would soak their flax, to process the flax, there was a certain worm that always would cause the flax to become, not to develop properly. And when he came, it all ceased. So Gemara says, but Reb Chia's own flax, when he would soak his flax, he still had that worm, and it would always never work out. So Gemara says, so if in his merit everybody else benefits, he shouldn't merit himself. So Hashem prefers that the tzaddik himself should not benefit from his merit. Others should benefit from his merit, but he should not benefit from his merit. That's what the Gemara says. So you see, we're talking Reb Chia. All Eretz Yisrael were beneficiaries of him, how special he was. Gemara says, Reb Chia, if there was a drought, the moment he started to say Mashiv Ruach, the wind started to blow. Morda Goshem started to rain. This is Reb Chia. That's how great he was. But that's for others. For himself, Hashem denied him. So I'm saying, so that's Yisurim. That's suffering. He says, my son, choose for yourself good, what's good for your soul, rather than having regret, which is not going to help you. And worry, which is unending.
Doesn't know that he's safe. You never know that he's safe.
You couldn't suffer more than Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov Avinu is the Av, the patriarch of suffering, right? From the time that he fled from the house of his father till he died, he suffered continuously, very serious suffering, right? One after another.
Last 17 years.
Being in Egypt wasn't, even though he was with Yosef, he understood it's the Golus, right? It was a Golus. They were in the stages. He understood where things were going. It was a necessary suffering. He understood it was necessary, but he suffered. He made the best of a worse situation. He said, he wants to be removed from them. Therefore, he was in Goshen, so on and so forth. But he was forced to leave Eretz Yisrael. He understood this is the beginning of the exile. Then he understood Yaakov. Holakim yoreinu v'oscha derech yeshara. Hashem should direct us and show us the straight path. V'yate osanu el nesiv ha'tzlocha b'rachmov, and he should steer us to the path of success with his mercy, Rov Chasodav, Omen. To be continued.
So how do you reconcile that conflict? That last line of that paragraph, Yaakov Avinu, tzaddik.
He was more than just a tzaddik.
Stepping until the end of his days, yet, here it's saying, and someone's not even at that level, Hashem takes care of that person. What's the reconciliation?
Not answering.
There's a conflict, no?
Yeah. It's difficult. That's the question. That's the question. And Shlomo tells us in Koheles, there's no perfect tzaddik. There's no perfect tzaddik in the world. So if you have some level of perfection, to atone for that, you have to have some level of suffering. Right? Suffering is atonement. It's spiritual rehabilitation. You think I'd suspected you were? Okay. Temple. In the social hall. What time was it held? Time of services?